We're on the Rio Cuale, and this is a typical scenery that you're going to see along the river here. Very few people, nice and quiet, the odd person there. And today we're starting walking down this trail right by the Riviera del Rio, the fancy peach-colored hotel that's located along the road here. And the trail right in front of the Riviera del Rio is especially nice because most owners of property just take it upon themselves to fix up the sidewalks. They plant most of the plants. These are all custom made tiles that the owners here would have put in for this hotel. They do it at their own expense. They probably don't even get a permit for it, but as long as it doesn't cause any serious harm or personal injury, Mexican officials won't say anything about it. What I love about Mexico here, just use your common sense, just get it done. So they've created a nice little entrance archway here right over the road here, just for their own ambience of their boutique hotel. And it's Riviera del Rio is the name of it. And you can phone directly and make reservations here. This place here would be in the order of, several $100s a night to stay at. And there's the phone number if you do care to give them a call. And it looks like they have a Canadian American number as well. So this beautiful place has beautiful gardens to complement it that they've planted themselves. So as you walk along, the gardens do change depending on who lives in front of it, because the cities don't take care of it. It's the people that live here. They want to beautify the front of their place by the river. They simply just go ahead and they plant these gardens with whatever they decide is nice, and they maintain them. And it's right next to the river. Can't beat the view. And we're even in the middle of the day here. It's absolutely peaceful, and you'll run into like papayas fresh hanging on the trees everywhere you go. Bananas hitting you in the head as you go under some places. Here's a view of the other side of the fancy hotel here and the gardens that they have here. Absolutely gorgeous. So if you have a higher end budget, this place in Puerto Vallarta right on the Rio Cuale is a good, highly recommended place. And people work on their cars just right out in front of their house. The guy's restoring a neat old truck there. And some more papayas there, just dangling away beside the trail. You can just pick them and eat them if you want. So now we're nearing the corner where it kind of ends the trail here. Call it the road along the Rio Cuale. So they just drive on sidewalks whenever they feel like it. That's where they make parking spots. How you do things in Mexico. You just get her done. This is what the typical streets look like down here in this area. Looks like a fairly high-end restaurant here called Cocina de la Bahia. Many delivery trucks run through the city delivering their goods. Now we're coming up close to the one of the suspension bridges that comes out of the Rio Cuale market. And it's located right here. The sign says that they have a weekend market. You can walk over the suspension bridge here. Looks a little rickety, but it works good. Hola, ¿cómo estás? It's a little rickety and moves around, but hey, it's one of those free adventures you find on Budget Traveler. people race across this bridge, and it's actually a dry river right now. We're in the middle of the summer. For down in Mexico, the summer months where it's dry is between about November and March. So here's a look at the other side. Completely dried up now for the dry season. In Puerto Vallarta. And the other side is still flowing. This is where the river splits. This side is dry this year, and the other side is flowing nicely. So we can continue on over the suspension bridge. Now we're on the Isla Cuale, which is also known as Cat Island. So they have a sign here saying, please don't leave your animals here. But a lot of cats have been left on this island, and we'll see a lot of cats in a few minutes. They have a little courtyard here. I'm not all sure exactly what's all going on in here. It's kind of some sort of the market type of stuff. They've got a big courtyard here, and I imagine they have events and things like that here, although I've never seen any yet. That's probably a church or an auditorium. And then, it's a cultural center. I think that's what it is. It's a cultural center, and it's also got like a coffee shop here too, where you can have margaritas, Canadian type things. And this is about the area where the cats, you start seeing some cats. It's known as Cat Island to some people.
Say when.
So we're here on Cat Island. Is it known as Cat Island? I'm sorry, what's your name? I'm Chris.
My name's Pat O'Driscoll. I live in Denver, Colorado. I come here every year in mid-January, vacation with my girlfriend, and I like to go birding. I'm a bird watcher, have been for about a dozen years, and so I've come to get to know some of the birds here in Puerto Vallarta, here on Isla Cuale, which is on the island in the middle of the Cuale River. What you're hearing, those squeaky, high-pitched sounds in the background, are the most common bird here in Puerto Vallarta. They're called great-tailed grackle. They're large, black birds with a very distinctive sound, very long tails, and they have dozens of different sounds they make. It's really the background sound here on the island in Puerto Vallarta.
Well, that's super interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Absolutely beautiful gardens here through the Cuale Island Market. Watering it and keeping everything nice and green here, which is pretty good, because this is a dry season where it doesn't rain for months, and if it does, it's very, very slight rain. This is the other side of the river, Cuale Isla Cuale, I should say, the island Cuale, and this Rio Cuale here is flowing nicely on this side. You can see some people like to build piling rocks there up and stuff, which is getting popular along the water now on the ocean front. You can see in behind it there how that infrastructure there has really retained itself well after the washout. Whereas you can see over here, some of the infrastructure has been washed right out there, and even the trees are helping to hold it in, the tree roots. So when you come out of the trail here, this is where the Mercado begins, where you start to see some merchants appearing along the way, selling their goods. And this would be known as the furthest point away from the ocean, Malecon, for this market, and it starts pretty much down there near the ocean here. These are some of the typical goods that you'll see along here. Nice fancy dresses. Make all the clothing here in Mexico. Little trinkets. More souvenirs. Typical Mexican clothing. And there's a little bar here called TV Circle Bar, the Rio Cuale. Looks like an interesting concept. We've got a circle bar. Very interesting. Looks like it's got a nice patio out there. Very unique. I'm Chris. I've got a channel called Budget Traveler. And what's your name?
My name is Daryl.
Daryl, tell us about this dry riverbed, Daryl, here. So it's all dried up now. Daryl's going to explain what happened. There was a storm here, big storm about 3 years ago, wasn't there?
Yes, and it destroyed a lot. This bridge
It washed
here,
this bridge out completely, I think, didn't
gone
it?
for almost 2 years.
Oh, 2 years with no bridge here. Incredible. That's, yeah, I didn't know it was that bad.
Oh yeah.
So now this riverbed in the summertime, which is the summer right now, between November and March, right, when they don't have much rain,
Right, very little rain.
it's
Very,
actually dry now.